Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Solo Dolo back at it again. Today we're going to be talking about last night's Clash at the Castle, Scotland. And it was pretty good. But let's go ahead and get into it and talk about it. So, our opening match was AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes in an I Quit match. And it was pretty good. I think it was really good, actually. Very intense. They were just back and forth. At one point, they fought outside of the ring, went all the way backstage in a big circle and back to the ring. Cody, he got bounced off not the ring announcement, but the time bell area, and he just started bleeding out the side of his face. And then AJ Styles got him in handcuffs, tied him down, and just started beating his ass. Just beat him up. He took the ref's belt, started whipping him with the belt, and just brutally beating him. And when he was handcuffed, AJ Styles went over to Cody's mom and started hassling her, and she just smacked the shit out of AJ Styles 3 times. I mean, just brutally started smacking him in the face. Well, Cody was able to eventually get the handcuffs off, started fighting AJ, and, just brutally beating AJ. Gave him 3 crossroads, and then took those handcuffs that AJ was using against him and tied him to the rope, and I mean, just brutally beat him. Then he goes out, he asks him if he quits, and he says, screw you, Cody. So Cody goes outside, and he gets a pair of the steel steps and brings it in. I mean, picks up and goes to hit AJ with it, and AJ just starts screaming before he can, I quit. So Cody won and retained his championship. Well, Cody was looking at his mom, who AJ was bothering, and she said, do it. And he just, boom, hit him with the steel steps. And, he won the match. But here's what was interesting. After that match, he leaves. He's going outside. He's celebrating. And who comes up walking behind him? Solo Sikoa. And then the Tama Tonga and Tana Lohez, they come and attack him and just started trying to beat him up. Well, here comes RKO for the rescue, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. And they help defend them off, beat them off. So we're definitely planting those seeds for SummerSlam. Who's he going to face at SummerSlam? And me personally, I do not believe that The Rock is coming back just yet. Not at SummerSlam. I think we're going to let Solo Sikoa fight Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam for the championship. He's going to lose. And then The Rock's going to come back at some point, Roman Reigns, and then this other guy, I can't remember his name right now. He's another Samoan that they've signed, and we're just waiting on him to debut. So that's going to be good. I just don't know yet on how they're going to play that out, but I don't think that The Rock or Roman Reigns is going to come back before SummerSlam. They may not. Don't know yet. And then our next match was the triple threat match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Becca Belair and Jay Carter versus Zoe Stark and Selena Baszler versus Amber Fire and Awesome Dog. And this was just an okay match. We had, a bunch of technical wrestling, a bunch of shenanigans, all kinds of things. Really good tag team work. At one point, Jay Carter and Becca Belair was just running everybody. So Shayna Baszler and the other tag teams, they all had to work together to beat them up and get them out of the match for a little while. And there was this one shot where Shayna Baszler had Jay Carter in the Cutfield Clutch, and it did look like she was tapping out. Maybe she wasn't tapping. Maybe it was the way she was trying to grab the arm to get out of the submission hold. But it was interesting because even the ring announcers was talking about it. Like, is she tapping? But the ref wasn't there to see the way her hand was. So it was hard to say. But eventually, Jay Carter and Becca, just destroy Shayna Baszler. And, they're going to go for the pin. But Austin Dawkins and On Fire, they come in, throw Jay Carter off. The other one holds Becca Belair's foot down. And they get the 1, 2, 3. And they're your new women's tag team champions. Now, I do have a problem with this because it kind of told you about the rest of the matches later on in the night, with us being in Scotland and, having Scotland people fight there. Very interested. I called it. I was telling my friends about it when we were watching it. I was like, oh man, that's not good that they won that tag team championship. I don't think any other Scotland's going to win tonight. And sure enough, well, you'll find out here later. But after that, our next match was Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. This was one of my most highly anticipated matches on the card. It was a great match, very technical, a lot of back and forth, and of course, a whole lot of shenanigans, 2 + 2 = potato, outside on the announce table, outside of the ring. So, Sami Zayn came out by himself, and Chad Gable came out with 2 members of the Alpha Academy, Otis and Max Dupri. Well, they started, of course, they had a plan. Chad Gable wanted Otis to, beat up Sami Zayn. There was a scene where, Chad Gable was purposely distracting the ref so she could hit Sami Zayn with the belt, but she couldn't do it. And, Chad Gable got up on the thing, started yelling at her. Well, when he was up there yelling at her, Sami Zayn, winding up the Luva kick, ran. He dodged it, and Sami Zayn just barely was able to stop it from hitting her. Chad Gable took advantage of that, German suplexed him and everything. And they fought. Well, they get on outside of the thing, and Chad Gable is yelling at Max Dupri for not hitting Sami Zayn with that championship belt. So Otis steps in front of them. And Chad Gable telling him, you better stick to the plan. Well, eventually, Otis and Max Dupri are standing here, and they're not facing Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. So they're fighting, and Sami Zayn was able to flip out of the ankle lock. Well, Chad Gable goes in and falls and hits Max Dupri's back leg, causing her to fall and cry. Well, Otis just gets mad, and he's on that. Well, Sami Zayn's down, and Chad Gable's telling him, but Max Dupri starts yelling at Otis, "No, Otis, help me!" And Otis, being the GOAT, he picks up Max Dupri and goes to leave. Well, when they're leaving, Chad Gable's looking at Sami Zayn, lines up the Helluva Kick, kicks him again. Now finally hits the Helluva Kick, and he wins. Well, the whole time when he's leaving, Chad Gable, just sitting there furious, absolutely mad about it, angry and everything. So it was a good match. Then we just had a little backstage thing with the new women tag team champions talking about how they're so happy to win in Scotland and how they're going to hang on to the belts for a while. I say they lose them on Monday night. And then we had Bayley versus Nyper Pibbins, and this was a good match. Nyper Pibbins being the bigger woman, stronger, Bayley being, skinnier and faster. It was, Nyper Pibb heavy blows, Bayley technical fast moves and stuff. And in this, it was pretty funny because Nyper Pibb's best friend was out there. Chelsea Nivens was out there, and she immediately, not even with 3 minutes into the match, she got banned from ringside that quickly. I thought that was hilarious, and good job on that ref for, you gotta get out of here. It was very technical. Well, then, they've been fighting, and there were so many times where Nyper Pibb was so close to winning, and it was really good. Then we had this point where this masked woman in a Dominik Mysterio mask showed up and was distracting Bayley and trying to help. But we all knew that it was Chelsea Green, and Bayley just took care of her, went out there and beat her up, threw her against the barricade, and that was it. Well, Nyper Pibbins gets the advantage. She has Bayley up on her shoulders, and she goes to do this exploding power bomb, and she hits this, but Bayley was able to roll back into it, pick by getting her legs up in the pin, and she got the 1, 2, 3, and she won the match, which was very interesting. It's that, experience versus amateur, but Piper Niven is no amateur. She's a pro, but, Bayley being the veteran. And this was the one thing that really bothered me about this match was I believe Piper Niven should have won it. Piper Niven should have beat Bayley here for the championship, and then you could have done her versus Nia Jax at SummerSlam, and maybe even let her beat Nia Jax. I wasn't a big fan of her, but after hearing some of her promos and watching some of her older matches, she's good. She definitely deserves to be women's championship and have a good run with it. Well, then we were at the main event, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre came out with the bagpipes. Damian Priest came out, and this was just a fight. When they were standing in the ring, Drew McIntyre was just intensely staring down Damian Priest. And when Damian Priest went to turn to hold up the championship, he just got right back in his face. They was fighting, bunch of moves, very technical. But, of course, there had to be shenanigans. Shenanigans, good lord. So, the Judgment Day was barred from ringside. They were not allowed to be there. Which, when I heard about that on Monday night, I already knew what was about to happen. I was like, I bet you. And sure enough, Drew McIntyre got screwed again. Because at one point, close to the match, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, they accidentally knocked the ref out of the ring. He's out laying on the bottom of the, out of the ring. Well, Damian Priest hits Drew McIntyre with, I believe, the South of Heaven. And immediately, though, when he turned around, Drew McIntyre already got up and out of nowhere, boom, Claymore kicked him right in the jaw. And we had this, he pins him, but there's no ref. So the crowd just starts counting. They got all the way up till 9. Well, out of nowhere, this ref comes running down. And I knew something was weird because, they didn't show us the ref. And of course, when I seen the back of his head, I knew who he was. He counted 1, 2, and just stopped. And then Drew McIntyre turns around, and sure enough, who is it? CM Punk. CM Punk is there again. So Drew McIntyre gets up, and looks at him and chooses to murder him. He grabs him by the neck, but he forgot about one thing. His testicles. So CM Punk, boom, just kicks him right in the nuts. He gets out of the ring laughing, taking pictures with some fans. Well, the ref finally gets back up. Damian Priest hits him with another South of Heaven, gets the 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre has lost in Scotland. He was screwed again every time he goes to Scotland. And Damian Priest is still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But the look on Drew McIntyre's face when he lost said everything we needed to know. But, me personally, this show was alright, but I have noticed something with these last couple of pay-per-views, and I will make a separate video on it, talking about their card, the way they're placing matches, because for the last couple, first match is absolute, gold, but then the card just is nowhere near that hype again. But that's going to be a separate video. I love the planting of seeds for SummerSlam already. But before we get to SummerSlam, we have Money in the Bank, July the 6th. So, we could obviously do Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank. We could possibly do Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes at Money in the Bank. And if we do that, then we can start working for SummerSlam to have The Rock return or have Roman Reigns return. So, they were planting little seeds for Money in the Bank already leading up to SummerSlam. But, it was definitely a good pay-per-view. Unfortunately, I'd have to give it a 3 out of 5 rank due to its card and certain things. Other than that, it was a good show. I can't wait to see what they do and stuff. But one thing though, it was interesting. There was nothing from the Judgment Day. They were banned from ringside. They didn't cut no promos. There was nothing between Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. It was just Damian Priest. And Damian Priest did say that he did not need the Judgment Day to be champion. And he did it, though he had help from CM Punk, but he didn't know CM Punk was there. But we'll definitely see how this all folds on Monday Night Raw, then SmackDown, then we'll have Money in the Bank, then SummerSlam. And I think SummerSlam is really going to be a hot event and really good. But till then, this is your boy Solo Dolo, and I'm going to ride out.